So let's do this question, right? And you can easily identify using this one. I'm using what? Whiteboard. Right. What it says in this question, we look at this. Want to see that XCH, C3, H8. Please look this very carefully. This question. Sometimes you will not understand this one. Even if you understood other things, you have to balance it, this equation first. Otherwise, if you can't balance it correctly, then you can't do this question, other following questions. So it's tough. So please understand how many the product are carbon dioxide and water. Right? How many carbon dioxide they have? They are reacting here. 6 carbon dioxide, and here 8 water. 8 water. Right. You have to balance it to find the x and y. If you want to find these x and y, you have to balance it, this equation. How to balance it? There is a big topic of balancing equation. I can't do that. Even I am thinking to do this a grade 11 chemical calculation, because I am really tired of doing this grade 10 calculation, right? And I will do that grade 11, no problem. But if you know this, how many classes is fourth or fifth class now, maybe fourth or something, third class, I think, right? But look how much we are getting effort, taking effort. That's very, you must respect that, right? Look. So you have to find this x. Here, how many carbon? Look this carbon. How many carbon? Carbon number here. How much of carbon? 6 carbon. Right? How many carbon? 6 into 1, 6 carbon. And here, how many hydrogen? Hydrogen. Hydrogen. 8 into 2. How much? 16 hydrogen. And oxygen, how many oxygen here? 6 into 2, 12 oxygen. And 8 into here 1. Here 1, but you don't take it that one. So 6 into 2, 12 oxygen, and 8 into 1. Altogether, oxygen here, 12 oxygen. What's that? Sorry, 20 oxygen. 12 plus 8, 20 oxygen. Right? So here carbon is how much? 6. If it's a 6, look this. If it's a 6, x should be what here now? X should be what? If, yeah, simple. It's very simple. I have given these both these carbon and hydrogen. But in past paper question, they didn't give this one. They didn't give this one. That was a tough question, little bit tough. It's very easy question because it's not related to hydrocarbon question. It is related to chemical calculation question. That's why I have put this very easiest way. So carbon is a 6. So if it's 6, then this should be how much? This should be x should be how much? 2. So it should be 2. Then look this one now. If it's a 2, then 8 into, so here this side, carbon now how much? Carbon now 16. So it's correct. Carbon is balanced. And see the hydrogen, 8 into 2, hydrogen is balanced. Hydrogen how much? 8 into 16, 8 into 2, 16. So it is also balanced. Here oxygen is how much? Oxygen is how much? 20. So if it's a 20, then oxygen should be here how much? Very easy one, right? It should be how much? It should be, what's that? Can someone tell?
10.
10. If it's a 12, 20, then it should be 10. Now, how many oxygen? Oxygen, if you look at this oxygen, here 10 into 12, 10 into 12, 2, then here 20 oxygen. Here 20 oxygen. Look now, the left, right, and left side and right side, the number of atoms of carbon or oxygen or hydrogens are equal. See, here 6 carbon. Yes, here 6 carbon. Hydrogen 16. Yes, here 16. And here oxygen is 20. Here also oxygen is 20. So it is balanced. If you can't balance it, this equation, you can't get the ratio to find the answer. You can't get the ratio to find the answer. So then now x should be 2. Y is how much? 10. That's the answer. Right? X should be 2 and Y should be, what's that? 6. If someone asks something like here, look, if someone asks something like, for example, if they ask, so if I divide 2 here, look this one, if I divide here 2, here 2, then you can divide here 2, then you can divide here 2. If you divide, this will be 4, and if you divide, this will be 3, and if you divide, this will be 5, and this, if you divide, this would be what? 1. But it will be the balanced equation, but I have given this as what? 6. So using this number, you should find this x and y. You can't do like this one. You can simplify easy. You can simplify using by dividing by 2 this one. But that won't be the answer. If it's a 6, then it would be 2. If they give, if it's a 3, then it would be 1. But based on the giving number of carbons, you should balance it. They didn't ask to balance it. They asked what? The question asked what? Question asked, look at this one. The question says, determine the x and y value. Determine. You don't need to calculate. Determines means in Tamil, I can say, I'm really sorry if you don't understand this Tamil. With Tavidan. You don't need to do any mathematical calculation. Just think, yeah, this one is, for example, this one is 6, so this should be 2. If it's an 8, it should be what? Altogether, oxygen is 20, so it should be 10. Right? So that is the basic idea. If they ask to balance it, you should divide by 2. You should give very simple ratio. Right? That is very important. Second question, let's do this. If 22 grams, so now we have balanced equation. I am going to write here balanced equation, right? So look the balanced equation now. Balanced equation says, using that one you can easily understand. Otherwise, yeah. Look at this one. How much of 2C3H8, 2C3H8 and react with 10 oxygen? No problem. You don't need to think about this, the simplified ratio. That's not the problem of this doing this question. And how many carbon dioxide? 6 carbon dioxide. And how much of water? Yeah, 8 water, right? Okay. So which means what? What is the meaning of this one? If 2C3H8, not this one, C3H8, right? Sorry. If 2C3H8 molecule, what is the meaning of this equation? If 2C3H8 molecule react with 10 molecule of oxygen, look at the very good explanation here. Let's see. If 2C3H8 molecule react with 10 oxygen molecule, it will have or you will have or you will get 6 carbon dioxide molecule and 8 water molecule. That is the basic idea of this question. But you can do that ratio now. What is the question says? If 22 gram of C3H8 react with oxygen, what is that? This is 22 gram. If 22 gram react with oxygen gas, find the moles of carbon dioxide, water are formed. They have asked this N and this N. They are asking both these moles. If I say this is N1 and if I say this is N2, they are asking this one. What they ask, what they give, actually they have given what? Mass is given, and they are asking what? Moles. So we know first you have to find, this is a nice question, please get the great idea, the very serious idea, right? Right. So using 22 gram, take this idea. You don't need to do this question. Look at the idea. That is very important. Using this 22 gram of C3H8 of mass, you can find the mass, using mass, you can find the moles of what? C3H8. You can find the mole of C3H8. So using this mole, now you will have the mole here. The equal value of 22 gram moles of 22 grams the mole you can find. Then you know the ratio 2 is to sound is coming. I don't know who is that. Okay. God. So here you can find, using mass, you can find the mole of what? This propane. This propane you can find. From this mole, for example, from this mole here, you can find this mole and this mole using this ratio. Now we did last class that using that ratio, right? So I'm going to find the moles of C3H8. Now, how to find this mole now? Look at this. How to find the moles using mass? We know that. N is equal, I can find this mole. N is equal, given mass over molar mass. How much of given mass is given? 22 gram of C3H8. Molar mass of C3H8 is not given, but they should have been given. I also didn't give, right? Carbon should be, you know how to find the molar mass of C3H8. I am coming here, look here. C3H8 molar mass. You should not find this 2CH3 molar mass. They are giving molar mass of C3H8. So this is methane, ethane, propane. So how to find? Carbon should be 12. How many carbon here? 3 carbon. So you should multiply by 3. And between these carbon and hydrogen, every atoms, between every atoms, there is a plus. So plus here. And hydrogen is 1. You must know that. How many hydrogen here? 8. So 12 into 3, 36. And 36 plus 8, how much now? 36 plus 8, the relative molecular mass of propane is 44. So the molar mass of propane is how much? 44 gram mole minus 1. The molar mass 44 gram mole minus 1. So from this, I am bringing this smaller mass here now, here. And if I use this 44 gram mole minus 1 now, gram mole minus 1 if I use, and you can cut that gram and here mole minus 1, look. Here you can cut gram and gram. And if the mole minus 1, if it will move above, that will be 22 over 4. What's the answer? 0.5 mole. Which is the mole? What is the mole? Which mole this one? Whose mole is this one? The propane mole. If it's a 0.5. This is the idea. If they give mass and if they ask moles of this carbon dioxide, you should count this first mole, right? So C3H8 now here 0.5 mole. They are asking what? Carbon dioxide mole and both mole. How to find this? That is the thing you must know. Right. Let's move the ratio now. Ratio is very important. The ratio, I'm coming, right? I'm coming here, ratio. The ratio between C3H8, C3, sorry. The ratio between C3H8 and CO2 and H2O. How about the ratio of C3H8 and CO to H2O? You should come to this one now. Here. You should come here. 2, 6, 8. You should do this one after only balance it. So if you have a 2, then it will have 6, then it will have 8, right? Right, now, here then, you can simplify here now. You can simplify now here 1, 6, sorry, 3, and here 8, sorry, 4. I divide by 2 here and divide by 2 and divide by 2. So look now, if you have one C3H8, you will get 3 carbon dioxide molecule and 4 water molecule, right? Here, now you should do what you have to do. If you have a 1 mole, if you have a 1 mole, it will have how much? 3 mole. You will have this one what? How much? 4 mole. Here we have found that in a green color, C3H8 have been found here. How much of mole? How much of mole?
0.5.
0.5. So how about this one? If
1.5.
one is 3, if half, then it would be
1.5.
1.5.
1.5. If half, if 1 is 4, if half, it would be how much?
4.
2
2,
more.
2.
Yeah, 2. 2 more. So using the ratio, look at this. Here mass is given. That is very. If they give directly moles, you can find easily. But they have given mass. So if they give mass, you should find the mole first. Here, this one. Then you bring it this ratio. Then if it's a 1, it will have 3 mole, and if it will have 4 mole. So if it's a half, then it will be 1.5 and 2. If you are problem of doing this simplification, how to use this one? Look at this. C3H8. C3H8, right? Who is writing? Wait. Okay. C3H8. Here C3H8. And the ratio between C3H8 and CO2. The ratio is how much? 1 is to, the simplified ratio is how much? 1 is to 3. Then here we have found 0.5. If it's a 0.5, then what about carbon dioxide? I take this X or N1, that's good. If I take that one, N carbon dioxide, NCO2. Right? How to do this one? You simplify using this one. 1 over 3 is equal 0.5 over N CO2. NCO2. So how to find this NCO2 now? NCO2 or mole of CO2 N CO2 is equal 3 into 0.5, 1.5 mole. So if you have problem of doing this, and if you are confusing, do this one. If it's a 1 is 3, if it's a half, it's 1.5. Then you follow this method. Likewise, if you do this instead of carbon dioxide, if you use water, then you will get the answer. What answer you will get? Exactly 2 mole, right? So the question is asked, find the moles of carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide mole is, instead of, if you use 22 gram, the answer is what? Carbon dioxide 1.5 mole. And then if you are expert for this calculation, within a 10 second, even a 5 second, you can do this question. Even a 5 second. If you are very much understood, you can do this question within a 5 second. Why I am talking? Listen here, Makal. I'm going to say one thing here. Uh, if you go to A level, if you go to physical science stream or the mathematics stream, the biological science stream, if you go to chemistry, the chemistry subject, there is a one specific chapter that is calculation. It's full of calculation, right? There is a one chapter that is full of calculation, but very easy. How it will be easy? If you do the question using the type, separate something like a very neatly designed question, then you will get, you will understand very well. But A level calculation question is a little bit tough if you think from O level. But if you go to A level, then it will be very much easy. Whatever things, my advice you people, if you can't try, if you can't study, right? When I was doing O level, there were 10 subjects and I passed all the distinction 10A, right? But the science wasn't my favorite subject. But I like to study science, that's all. But my favorite subject was mathematics, right? But seriously, I like to teach science, but I like mathematics more than science, right? But I like to teach science. What I am saying, if you don't do hard work, I am not an expert in anything, right? In my class, there were loads of people, so much of brilliant people. They will do, they will do that question within a 1 second or 2 second. And we will wanted that. But I can't do something like that. I will come to home and I will do that question. I will remember the method, not the question. Or sometime I will use that method using that question. That's only, you know, this one. These things we didn't study in O level, right? These things we studied in A level only. But when I was doing, there were 10 subjects. Especially, there were no history. That was the nice thing. There were history, what? Social study and history. People are suffering because of history. I know that. I have asked so many people, and they are telling what history is a very difficult subject. Very difficult subject. History is a very easy subject. I'm saying if you talk about history with your friends, with your colleagues, otherwise you will forget. Simply, I can say, Stevanampiya Tissa, and who constructed Tissa River, Tissa Vavi, Pandikaben, Holland, or something like that. So many people, Portuguese. History is not very much difficult. So I hope you all people should get 9A, right? So just I'm talking about how to study. It's not about talking all these science. It's all about everything, right? So that's why I'm talking my experience. Please study from today. If you are not studying well, from today, even if you studied, you will get 9A, right? But separate the times, that is very important. Which chapter you want to study more? In your science, when I talk, grade 10 would be the major factor in your pass paper, right? Seriously, I'm saying. But I will do the paper class in online, and I will do that some questions which definitely will come if you come to that class, and you will be benefited. Right. Let's move to next class. Next question. Okay. So then third question, what's that? Calculate the mass. This link will expire within 10 minutes. Sorry, 7 minutes. So we calculate the mass of carbon dioxide. What about the N of NCO2? NCO2 how much? I forgot that. 1.5, is it?
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yes, sir.
And NH2O. NH2O is, I think, 2 mole, right? Okay. So using this one, look at this. We found this mole here. We found this mole, right? And using this mole now, you bring it, you can found this what now? The mass of carbon dioxide. What equation should be used? What equation should be used? N is equal given mass over molar mass. N is equal given mass over molar mass, right? I'm moving faster, right? Using given mass over molar mass. So to find the given mass, now what you have to use? Given mass is equal N, capital N. N is how much? 1.5. I will upload today this video and I will share it, no problem. Today I will give this video, okay? And the molar mass of carbon dioxide we should count. It's a 12, and oxygen is how much? 16 into 2. So then 44. So if you bring it this 44 now, what's the answer now? Which means 3 over 2, 22, 66 gram. So using 22 gram of propane was 0.5 mole. From 0.5 mole, 1.5 mole CO2 produced, and that 1.5 mole is how much? 66 gram. Calculate the number of water molecules are produced. Next question. Please take this screenshot. Calculate the number of water molecules are produced. How to find water molecules numbers using another equation? You know, we studied that N is the water molecule produce how much? 2 mole. So what should be given here? Avogadro constant should be given here. Avogadro constant is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So using mole is given and the number water molecules they ask. So capital N is equal simple N over L. And water molecule asked. So the number of water molecule they have been asked here 2, right? Sorry, right? This equation is wrong. Simple N is equal capital N over L. They ask this one water molecule. We have found how many moles of water molecules? 2 water molecules, 2 moles. So then N is equal simple N into L. Simple N how much? 2 into Avogadro constant 6 point. It should have been given up, but I don't. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. 2 into 6.022 how much? 12.044 into 10 to the power 23 water molecule, H2O molecule. You don't need to write this one, H2O molecule. Right. The next question says is what? I'm moving faster. Please take a screenshot. I'm going faster because it's going to be end to this this link going to be end. Calculate the number of hydrogen atoms in water molecules. Number of hydrogen atoms. Look now. From water molecule, look. How much of mole is produced? NH2O is how much? NH2O? 2. Right. They have been asked what? The number of hydrogen in water molecules are 4. Right. From H2O, we studied this all. How many hydrogen present? 2 hydrogen present. This is 2. And oxygen atom is 1, right? I'm using this one, 1 oxygen atom. Not 10, that is 1, right? Okay, now if you have 2 mole, if you have one H2O, you will have 2 hydrogen. If you have 1 hydrogen, you will have two hydrogen. One water, you will have two hydrogen. If you have 1 mole, you will have how much? 2 mole of hydrogen. Here how much water molecule? 2 mole. So then, if it having a 2 mole, then it will be how much now?
4.
4 mole. So 4 mole of hydrogen present here. And to find this number of hydrogen, use this one. We know the mole. So number of hydrogen, number of molecules. N is what? N is what is this? The number of hydrogen or the number of molecules or the atoms of ions. N over L. Capital N is equal. This will expire by 1 minute. We'll do another link or else we will finish. This is NNL, N4 into L. So 4 into L is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. And the answer 24.088 into 10 to the power 23. Right? Shall we finish or shall we continue?
So I have class 8.
Oh, you have class 8.